no party has seen such an exodus. How do you want to respond to this?
Well, I think nobody is disputing figures and facts. All of us say that we have had a secular decline, and in particular after 14. Of course, people who talk of a longer secular decline from 80s and 90s forget 10 years successively being in power. But I am now saying myself, and I'm openly saying it. Equally, when your channels on the platform, just 2 days ago when the polling results were coming on 10th, showed that although much diminished and much in decline, we have the largest number of MLAs in the country after the BJP. So these are facts of life which nobody is running away from. Let me be very blunt, Anand. I mean, you can be, direct, you can be sarcastic, you can be indirect. But we are in deep, concern about these issues. I don't think any well-wisher of the Congress is away from the fact that it has to be reconfigured, rewired, reinvented. You can use, I don't just want to use the word introspection because you'll make a jibe at me, but all those words are relevant and they're not mere adjectives. They are genuine words. But I must add one thing very clearly. And this has been my stand, not with you, but with other channels in the past. Yes, that includes entire rejigging. But to define leadership as in this isolated way that we are only gunning for Mr. A, B, and C, or Miss A, B, and C, is a very warped and a very narrow view of it. Why should you not, and I'm including everyone, I'm including myself apart. I mean, I'm in any case including myself. The district head, the block head, the state head, or indeed the office holder of the block and district and state, or indeed of the central level, they are all part of the what you might call the leadership. I'm not talking of the ordinary worker alone. So all of them have to, some places change, some places reinvent, some places restructure. But just to take this narrow view, we are gunning for A, B, and C, and then A, B, and C, remove, press a button, and all this reconfiguration and all the adjectives of Dr. Singhvi will work. That, I think, is a very, very distorted view.
Sir, I'll tell you one more thing. Yesterday, Mr. Ashok Gehlot turns around and says that Priyanka Gandhi was able to put up so many candidates across 399 seats. It's in itself an achievement. My point is, sir, if there are senior minds, very, very erudite minds who understand where the problem is, why is it that it is 8 years down the line and it is still not being fixed?
Well, that's something we have to change. According to me, and this is my personal answer, we have to do Akla Chalo from before an election 2 years and after one election. I'm being very blunt and candid to the extent I can.
Yeah.
You cannot reinvent in some of our, what I may call secular decline structural states, if I may use that phrase, without doing this. Number two, I have in particular followed Priyanka Gandhi and UP more closely than the others. Not even her worst enemies, and there are many, suggest that she did not give it her all, although I myself told her the time was short. Not even her worst enemies suggest that she hesitated to take the bullet from the front and go up. And let me tell you, there was a lot of re-energizing, a lot of momentum and direction. However, the real reason is simple, and we both talked about it also.
Yeah.
Reason is simple. People vote for those who they see as a winner.
Yeah.
I may like you a lot. I want to go and vote for you. But if I know that you are unlikely to be a winner, I'm now giving you a very candid credit, then the vote will go to number one and number two. And that is what happened in UP. Nobody saw us as a winner. But despite that, let me not diminish and let you not assume that the role of Priyanka Gandhi was in any manner perfunctory, casual, or less than effective. Yes, we need to do it right now, starting yesterday, till the next election.
Correct.
That's a different issue.
That's where the issue is, Dr. Saab. The fact is, the issue is, ideologically, people may have different positions. I'm talking from a pure point of view of how much of the hard yards you need to put. On ground, there are people who still owe their allegiance to the Congress. They are lifetime Congressies. I've seen them and I've met them. But they lament the fact that there is no connect. They lament the fact that this winnability, the fact that the Congress party is a winner, its leadership is a winner at all levels, is gone. How is it that those who have got the control of the party over the last 10, 15, 20 years are not aware of this and nothing is being done?
No,
You will admit the hard yards have to be put and they're not being put.
No, I do not at all agree that they are not aware of it. But your first part of your question is very important. I call it both a tragedy and an opportunity. First part of your question rightly put that with so much of secular decline in some areas, in other areas we've done well, we formed two governments. It's not a small thing to form two central governments. And during the time of those two central governments, we had as many as 7, 8, 10 states at one time. So, but despite the decline post-14, there are what might be called hardcore congressmen willing to give their all, which is what I call it a tragedy and an opportunity. Now, it is our job, and I include each one of us from the top Congress president down to the last worker, but in particular, all office bearers at all points. I mean, we are not talking of so-called leaders and office bearers at each level. Yeah. Well, their job is to leverage that basic goodwill. Now, according to me, state-wise, it has to be different. There have to be broadly 3 strategies. Some states will have to be akla chalo. Some states will have to be where you are the leader, where there's a bilateral fight with the BJP. You have to take the lead and get every other person with you to prevent vote division. That's strategy 2. And there is a third strategy. There are states where you think you cannot do between now and 24. I mean, I'm not belittling the elections coming at the end of 22 and 23. But ultimately, today's focus has to be 24.
24.
My strategy for 24 is this threefold. As I said, start the work now. Go along with places where you are the leader in the opposition. Get the other people with you to prevent vote division, because BJP at its best never gets more than 40% vote.